Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. Arsenal will win this game against Sheffield United. I mean, I even searched through all of Sheffield United's results this season to try and build a story of how this game might not be as easy as it seems, but there isn't one. Sheffield United have been on the receiving end of some horrific losses this season, but we do still have plenty to talk about in this video. But as always, I would love to hear your suggestions and thoughts on the game. So what do you think the score prediction is going to be? But also, what lineup would you go for in a game like this against Sheffield United? So we need to talk about Sheffield United, but before we do me the favour of just giving me a thumbs up on this video, just to show me that you like this content. So Sheffield United are bottom of the Premier League, and rightfully so as well. This is not a team that's been unlucky in some of their results. Like I said, listen to this on Sheffield United. 66 goals conceded already this season. That's nearly 10 more than 19th place Burnley. They've scored 22 goals, so that's a minus 44 goal difference. I don't know about you, but if I'm an attacker, looking at that, if I'm Saka, Martinelli, or whoever else up front, I'm looking at that and thinking, wow, guys, this is a chance for us to really extend our goal tally this season, to really bump up some of our numbers. You know, you play some teams sometimes in a season, and they could be considered a stat padding team. This is how I would be looking at it if I was a Saka, a Martinelli, or even a Havertz. You know, this would be music to my ears. I would want to get on the score sheet, and I expect a few of them to get on the score sheet. I'm going to give you my score prediction towards the end, but like I said, I would like to know yours. But what also interests me in this game is, who will Mikel Arteta go for in that number 9 position? We know how much he's changed it this season. We know it's a position that not one person has been able to really lock down yet and secure as their own in every single game. So who do you pick in a game like this? I would personally go for Kai Havertz. Listen, we know about Kai Havertz, but he's been very, very good in these past few games, especially as striker. I do think he offers us quite a lot as a striker. You know, he does offer us things in terms of hold-up play, in terms of aerial ability, in terms of making runs, not only for himself, but for dragging the defenders out the way so someone else can find the gap and exploit it. I would go for Havertz in this game, but I'll be interested to see who you guys go for. I know some of you would pick Trossard. Maybe some of you would pick Gabriel Jesus as well. I don't know if he's going to be available to play this game. You would expect, you know, he will be back soon. We saw him on the bench in the last game, so he probably will feature at some point in this game. The team selection, personally, that I would go for is David Raya in goal, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel and Kivior. We know how solid that back five has looked for much of this season. And with Kiwior in there, I think it does offer us a more of a stability to allow the further forward players to flourish. And then that leaves the question of, what do you do in midfield? Personally, I don't think you change it. Rice, Jorginho and Odegaard have performed fantastically well together every single time they've been on the pitch as that 3. So I would leave it as that. Saka on the right, Martinelli on the left, and Kai Havertz up front. And I expect if Kai Havertz does play up front, I would nearly almost guarantee that he does score in this game. Like I said, let me know your thoughts. You know, and in terms of this game, I would usually break down and maybe give a higher tactical analysis of where I believe the opposing team's weaknesses are, where Arsenal's strengths would be, and how we can exploit that. But, you know, we are playing bottom of the league. So maybe I think that would be unnecessary in a game like this, because I think we can dominate them in all positions. I don't think there's one area I look at in their team and think, wow, they are super vulnerable there. Because if you're looking at Arsenal's players, we should be looking at all parts of their team, knowing we have the better players and knowing we can go there and really get a result that all of us Arsenal fans want. You know, we've been having these high-scoring games lately, so I'm looking at a game like this and I'm expecting that trend to continue. You know, if I'm giving you my score prediction, I think Arsenal are going to win 4-0. I do believe we have the ability to score more. Of course, we could go there and it be a little bit harder than we're imagining, and we go away with a 1-0 or 2-0 win. At the end of the day, the 3 points are most important, of course. But as Arsenal fans, we do expect a certain style of play, and we have been given that recently. So I see no reason to suggest that this game should be any different. I'm sure Mikel Arteta will be going into this game with the exact same mind frame as he went into the West Ham game. I think he will probably want to go there and have a big scoring game. And I think we are more than capable of doing that. Like I said, let me know your thoughts. I'm just excited, though, to see Mikel Arteta's press conference. Like, when are all these players coming back? We know we are on the cusp of all of these players returning. And when they do, it's going to be interesting to see how they all line up together in this team. You know, we're excited to see Timber back. We've heard news of jurrien Timber. He's now back training with Arsenal in first team activities. So the return of jurrien Timber is only around the corner. We're not too far away from my dream defence of Raya now, it would have been Ramsdale, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel and jurrien Timber. He got injured in the first game of the season. It's been a long wait as Arsenal fans to see that jurrien Timber in defence, to see what he can offer us. And I do think it's going to transform our defence once again. And I can't wait to see it. But also the return of Tomiyasu. Let's not forget that before the Asia Cup, Tomiyasu was one of Arsenal's more consistent performers. He was a player where I was going into a game, you know, thinking, well, that's okay down that side because we got Tomiyasu on that side. So we still have that yet to come back into this team. Tomiyasu is good at playing the ball forward. He is good at progressing the ball. He is good now at overloading and dropping into that central midfield position like a Zinchenko. But he's also so solid at defending. And Mikel Arteta has come out countless times and said, in terms of a one-on-one defender, Tomiyasu is probably the best at the club. So we still have that to come back into the squad. We still have the versatility of jurrien Timber on the left-hand side, but we also have the strength and ability of Tomiyasu on that left-hand side, or right-hand side, or even centre-back. Tomiyasu can play the whole way across the back line. But not just him, Thomas Partey. We still have Thomas Partey to drop into this squad at some point. How far are we from a Thomas Partey return? And that's why I can't wait for Mikel Arteta's press conference, because hopefully we get some more answers. And in terms of the title race, you know, this is obviously a big game in the title race, but if you're looking at the fixtures, Arsenal probably have the easiest game of the match week. We had the hardest last week, and like I said, it's going to flip around. Arsenal's game this week, you know, you're looking at it. Liverpool play Nottingham Forest. We saw Nottingham Forest against Man United last night, you know, and Man United scored a last-minute winner. So, you know, Nottingham Forest do have the ability to play, do have the ability to nullify teams, and Liverpool have so many injuries at the minute that this could be a fixture where they slip up. If they're forced to play so many of the younger players again, they might not have the experience yet to grind out a result against the Nottingham Forest. So it'll be interesting to see that game. Man City, are they capable of dropping points in this game week? Absolutely. Look who they're playing. Man United, a rubbish team at the minute, we can't lie. But it's still a Manchester derby. And if there's any game a United players looking at and thinking, right, guys, we really need to step it up for this game, you would imagine it to be a Manchester City and Man United game. You know, this is probably one of the biggest games of their calendar. So hopefully Man United can do us a favour and actually take points against Man City. You know, how crazy is that? Man United have fallen to such a level that we're not worried about them picking up points, and we would actually rather them pick up points than a Man City. You know, when I was growing up, it was always Man United and Arsenal. So Man United and Arsenal was always a big rivalry for me. But now I actually want Man United to win games of football. That just shows you how low Man United have dropped as a team. But like I said, let me know your thoughts on everything you've heard in this video. Where do you think Arsenal stand in this title race? Where do you put us? Do you think we're first, second or third favourites? I'd be interested to see people's opinions on that, to be honest. Again, score predictions for the game, let me know. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. Before you go, if you could do me a favour, just give me a like and subscribe, and I will speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.